Hi there, my name's Rachel. I am a psychotherapist. I'm a mindfulness teacher at Mindful Therapies. I'm also a cat mum and I'm a human in the middle of a pandemic. It is, at the time of recording, it is Sunday the 22nd of November. This is going to be released on Tuesday the 24th. And I just want to say a little bit about worthiness. I think that's what it is. In relation to distraction and things like that. So you'll notice I've got my headphones on. There's nothing playing at the moment, but I'm using them as a prop for what I'm going to talk about. So I'm out for a walk, and I quite like to listen to podcasts when I go for a walk. And I think sometimes when we're trying to look after ourselves, we're trying to do the whole well-being thing, we can get a little bit worthy when it comes to what we listen to, what we watch and things like that. And we can tell ourselves that we should either be only having mindful walks, we should be just focusing on our senses. We did a mindful walk a couple of weeks ago. We tell ourselves that if we are going to listen to things, it should only be self-help, it should only be mindfulness, and that's going to that's going to be the nourishing thing for us. And if you find those things nourishing, great. But I suppose today I just want to give myself and you permission to just watch or listen to whatever you want. And particularly for me, I'm going to get out of the sun. Is that any better? Oh. No. No. I'm not going to be one of those people who complains about the sun. Especially as there's not going to be much more of it today. So for me, I like to listen to podcasts that are really silly. Things that make me laugh. I like things that are a bit rude, a bit silly, a bit funny, and that give me the opportunity for a bit of escapism. And I think that is completely fine. And I think sometimes we can get into this kind of idea that it's a waste of time. If we're not watching a meaningful documentary or reading an intellectual book, then we're wasting our time. You know what? If you want to read a trashy novel, if you want to watch, the soaps or the X Factor or I'm a Celebrity or whatever your particular thing that gives you joy, just do it. So I really like comedy podcasts. The sillier and more vulgar, the better. And I'm not going to apologise for that. And you shouldn't either. So yeah, that's my little take home for today. There's one other thing I want to say, and that's self-care. I talk about self-care quite a bit, but I think that just to remember that self-care is not one size fits all. So for some of us, self-care is very much an inspirational talk, a bubble bath, a face pack, all of those kind of things. And for some of us, that just isn't. For some of us, it's yoga. For some of us, it's meditation. For some of us, it isn't. And what I find mindfulness really helps me to do is pause and listen to myself so I know what helps me. One of the things that I do for my self-care is Zumba. And there's 2 Zumba classes a week. And what I've noticed is when I do Zumba of an evening, it helps me to kind of just settle the day. It feels really good. I really appreciate it. When I do it in the morning, I just get a bit angsty and anxious and I don't like it. So I've made the decision, I'm just going to do my Wednesday class. And that's absolutely fine. I can give myself permission to just do what works for me. And it's not about how it should feel, it's about how it does feel. And I've experimented, I've played around, I've kind of gone, how does this actually feel? And now I've got my answer. I'm going to stick with one class a week. So yeah, practice self-care. Give yourself permission to do the self-care that works for you and not what you've been told you should be doing. But listen to yourself long enough to figure that out. And that might mean experimenting. So I'm going to carry on listening to my podcast and try not to freak out the passers-by with my laughter. So I'll be back tomorrow. Remember,